Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our very first CYPHER Live. My name is Caitlin Bixby. I'm head director of solution marketing here at CYPHER, and today's session is going to be led by our head of product, Mark Schuster. And I'm just watching everybody trickle in. We're so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. So this is a really informal session. You've got a few invitations. We first did our CYPHER Pro Tips a couple of weeks ago, and that was really sort of a business orientation around the usefulness of various features, really a bit more structured. This one's going to be a little bit more casual with Mark running through a demo, and we're going to take your questions in the Q&A. So if you have a question at any point throughout this demo, drop it in the Q&A. Mark promises he's going to have an eye on it. I'm going to have an eye on it, and we'll try to answer your questions. If we don't get to them live, we will absolutely be following up. So again, thank you so much for joining. So this is a casual give and take. Let us know what your thoughts and your questions. And I'm going to pass it over to Mark.
All right, great. So good morning to everyone in the Americas. Good early evening to our friends in EMEA, and good very early morning to the one or two of you from Asia Pacific that are joining us. Great to be here. So as Caitlin said, my name is Mark Schuster. I'm product management here at CYPHER Learning. And my background, I've been in the learning and development space for about 25 years, relatively new to CYPHER and happy to be here. But also I've spent 15 years running an e-commerce business on the side. So hopefully I can bring some of that experience as well to give you some ideas on how to best monetize your content and create the best user experience possible on your CYPHER site. So I'm going to start off with a quick demonstration and give you an overview of how our e-commerce solution works. And then from there, we'll start answering questions as we go through. So we're going to start off taking a look at what the participant experience looks like to go through a site that is enabled for e-commerce. So in this particular case, I'm running in a private browser window. So this site has no idea who I am. And someone brand new is coming into your site. And we've got a number of different options for visitor portal to be able to create a unique experience for your brand, be able to make it look good and engage people with your content as you go through it. So there's options to link out to different elements like your catalog, a calendar of upcoming events, news information as well, so you can promote things. So if I go into news, you can have updates to everyone as well as a blog to give more information on new courses, on other events at your company to try and engage new users to come in. So as someone comes in, they're also able, if you enable it, to view your course catalog, at least those courses that are available to the general public. So I'm able to go in as an outside user and see the course, and with our e-commerce solution, be able to see what the cost is. And if I want to learn InDesign for beginners, I can learn more about that course, see all of the different options, and purchase that if I'd like to. And with our e-commerce integration, we're able to integrate with a variety of different payment gateways. On this particular site, I have Stripe set up as a payment gateway, but we support others like Authorize.net, like PayPal, a variety of different platforms that are used in other parts of the world outside of North America, like PayU. So you're able to choose any of those as you go through that. In this case, I can create an account to be able to take the course. This will automatically create the account in your CYPHER site. Enter the payment information and purchase. I can also pay with a purchase order if you choose to support that. So all of that can be done automatically, or you obviously can make this available to your existing users as well. So if I want to log on as an existing user, I'm taken directly into my shopping cart where I can see I've got 2 items in my shopping cart ready to go. Same thing, I can create the payment with a credit card or choose to pay with a purchase order. So we can see everything that is going on. I'm going to enter everything in here. It's asking me for the information on my location in this case, just because of tax purposes, because I also have this set up to do tax calculations. But right now I've submitted this purchase order for approval, and we're going to move over now from the end user experience on purchasing to look at how you can manage that within your own solution. So I'm going to switch to another logon. So I'm now logged on as myself as an administrator in this portal. And we're going to take a look at a few different options. So you can see that notifications come in for purchase orders. So all of that is in there ready for me to go and approve and grant the purchase order once I've received payment on it. But what we'll start off with is the same experience that we just saw. So we were looking at what that visitor portal looked like. So let's take a look at how that is set up. So I'm going to go into admin and I'm going to go into portal. And this should be familiar to many of you. This is how you customize all of our different portal settings, like colors, logos. Caitlin did a great session, I believe that was 2 weeks ago, on the CYPHER Pro tips on how to make your site look great, where we went through a lot of the benefits of this. The visitor view is where we're going to focus, which is that forward face that you can have out to potential clients to show your site. So having a full portal is certainly recommended if you're going to be using e-commerce and try to draw traffic into your site. This allows you to choose a variety of different features and pages that are available to the public. So I have enabled catalog, the calendar, the news, the ability to contact me, and the ability to sign up for an account. Those can be edited as you want, and you can also add your own custom HTML pages or just links to an outside URL. So if you need to link to an additional set of information on another website of yours, you can certainly do that as well. Once you've got your pages set up, there's a variety of other options to go through to set up your menu that links to all of those pages, as well as footer links. But the portal panels are that graphic look to the front, and you can manage those manually here, or you can use a full visual editor. And that's what I want to look at. That's the easiest way for me to manage a portal and be able to take a look at it. So this gives me an interface to edit everything. And then you can see the same portal that we just looked at over here. So I'm able to edit the header up here, change logos, be able to add additional text with the logo, and add custom HTML to add other elements up here that you may need. The main block down here, though, are these panels. So I have 2 panels installed right now. The carousel panel that we saw, that was going through all of these elements, as well as an image block panel where I can edit each one of these different options, add links to other options, change the images, change the text, and be able to create those call to actions to engage someone to purchase or explore more about your products. We have a variety of different types of panels that can be added in here with text blocks, counters. You can do a full custom HTML if you want to build your own. Mixtures of text, images, buttons. So there's a wide variety that you can use. I'm going to stick with the carousel I've got here and look at how we edit that. So you can see this is a beautiful image of a nice manor house and painting but I can see that there are people down here and it's being cut off based on the size. So I want to replace that image. So all of these panels can be edited very easily. So I'm going to go into this graphic design panel and I want to replace the image. So I do that. And I'm going to drag in a new image. It's going to take just a moment to process that. And I can now see the same image. I've cropped it out and it's now people studying, which may be more appropriate for my graphic design fundamentals course. So doing that automatically saves everything. If I come back to my other window, I'm going to log out of Tessa's account here. And you can see that's updated in real time. So it's a little bit more of a friendly image going through there. So all of that is available for you to customize, create that welcoming portal to generate new sales and new interest in your courses. Once that is done, the next thing is really about setting up your e-commerce abilities and being able to set everything else up. So I'm going to continue in administration and I have our e-commerce feature enabled. So I'm going to go over here. It's currently enabled, so we don't want to disable that, obviously. And here I'm able to do all of my configuration for the e-commerce integration. I can change payment gateways. So I mentioned I have Stripe set up as well as purchase orders. You can have multiple payment gateways set up. And here you can see the list of different payment gateways that we currently support, plus Stripe and purchase orders, which of course I already have enabled. So if I wanted to add an additional option here like PayPal, I can certainly do that and add in my PayPal account information.
Mark, we
Yes.
have a question in the chat about the purchase order option. People are interested in learning a little bit more about this. Can you tell us what this feature consists of, please?
Thank you, Alexia. That's actually where I was just heading for us. So let me go back in here. So we've got the purchase order here. So you can see that's enabled. Once you've got that enabled, you choose who your purchase order approvers are. So I've got myself set up. This site is set up just for today. So there's not a lot of users in there. But if I come in here, I can see Caitlin is also in this site. So I can add her on and make her a purchase order approver as well. So what this does now is allows when a user clicks the purchase order, if I have that payment gateway installed, it's going to provide a notification to myself and Caitlin telling us that a purchase order has been submitted and ask us if we want to approve it. In other words, that gives you the ability to review it. There's not an immediate access to the course. If it is someone that you trust and you know you're on a billing terms with them and it'll be a 30-day billing terms, then you can approve it, get everything out there ready to go, and approve them. If you need to wait for payment, you can do that and wait until it comes into you with payment and then approve their access to it. So you have that full flexibility there to be able to approve and review purchase orders. So you can see here, I've had a purchase order already that has gone through. I have a whole history here, and this other user, Tony Bratt, has been approved and has access to the Adobe Software Essentials package through that. The other aspect within this configuration is being able to create bundles and subscriptions. And this is a great way to add additional revenue opportunities for you. So if I go into bundles, I've created an Adobe Software Essentials bundle. So this gives me the ability to upcharge a little bit, add 3 courses. If you buy now, you get a lower rate. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this particular item. So I can add items. I can view here, there are 4 courses actually in this one. I apologize, I said 3. 4 courses already set up, but I can add additional courses if I want to, and go through all of my courses and add whatever I need to into this bundle. Once I've got that created on what's included in the bundle, I can go to admin and I can edit it. So I can create names, I can create descriptions, I can choose who it's available to, I can choose whether it's published in the catalog or not. I can choose to feature it so it displays elsewhere in the platform as a marketing tool. I've got visibility options, and a big thing is search engine optimization, or SEO. So this will allow you to add descriptions and keywords that can be picked up by search engines such as Google, such as Microsoft's platforms, to be able to generate more sales for your product. And then the last part of this is the e-commerce section, which is where you're going to set the price. So I can edit it. I've got this set at $75 right now. If I want to, since I added a course, I want to increase it to $100. I can make that change very quickly, and that is all set there. You can add actions that occur if someone purchases the item. So you can send them a notification. You can thank them for their business, of course, but you can also add them to a group. So say you have a subscription that gives you 3 courses. You also have a group that allows for discussion on those courses. You can automate all of that at the time of purchase. And then you also have the ability to, in this section, add coupons, to add discounts for a particular product as you go through that. So that's available for bundles. There's a very similar approach to subscriptions. So I'm going to go back here. Subscriptions are going to be very similar, but instead of a one-time price, it's going to be a monthly or annual price that you can charge. So here I'm going to add a new subscription. And we're going to go through the entire process of creating one. So again, I can add items that are included in my subscription. It can be just for one course, or it could be for multiple. The same as before, I've got my administration to set all the details on this. So here I can set description. I can set up where it's going to go in the catalog. Making it available, obviously, is an important one. I can add that search engine optimization. And then, of course, set the price. So I want to set the price for this as $25 a month for access to this particular course. So I set all of that up. And one of the different things we have here is cancel actions. What happens if the user cancels the subscription? So those are the bundle and subscription options that are in here. The last thing I want to do is, from an e-commerce functionality, is to go back to our e-commerce section and show you abandoned cart actions. So this is a very big aspect of marketing for e-commerce, which is if someone adds stuff to their cart and leaves without purchasing it, we can send notifications to them to remind them to come back and finish their purchase. So you can send an out-of-the-box message, or you can send a custom message to remind them of the item that's sitting in their cart. You can include what order items are in there with a link to those, and be able to send this out over a period of time and be able to generate that sale and not lose the sale on that content. Before I move too far away, I know we've got some questions. So Alexi, I'm going to ask you to help me out with that, or Caitlin. The
Of
Q&A is
course.
still blank on my screen, so I cannot see it.
Yeah, certainly. And everyone has been participating. We appreciate all of the questions. We have a very interesting question from Mod Khalil. Can we set up a subscription based on a predefined number of active months so that numbers are charged only for a specific number of months after subscribing?
So currently we cannot. However, our roadmap includes a number of e-commerce enhancements that are scheduled for third quarter. And that is one of the enhancements we'll be making in third quarter.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mark. That sounds very exciting. And we also have a question about being able to iframe the page or the e-commerce in their website. I know that some of our customers they are linking it rather than embedding it. What do you recommend as the expert?
Are you referring to the payment gateway? I'm not sure what the question is for sure
Yes,
there.
iframing the external portal where we have the catalog.
Oh, so embedding it in an outside site.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. You certainly could do that. When you're getting into using e-commerce, you start to get some challenges. There are a number of e-commerce gateways that will block if it can tell it's in an iframe, and your payments will not go through because of the potential of scams. So framing something else in an iframe so it looks like it's running on a particular URL when it's not is a very common scam for credit card fraud and user account fraud. So I would recommend against it, but it is certainly technically possible.
Excellent. Thank you. And we also have a question about the coupons. They are asking whether we support coupons that are going to have either just a fixed quantity rather than just a percentage.
Sure. So there are a number of options. You can choose how many times a coupon can be used. So you can create a coupon that can be used 10 times. And once those 10 are done, it's gone. So you can create a promotion that is the first 10 people to buy this course get 50% off using this code. Or you can leave it unlimited and have it available for everyone. You can also restrict it to once per user. So if you have a coupon that's valid on any course, you can give someone a coupon that is valid for 10% off any one course, and then the rest of the courses are going to be free for them. For the amount, you can set 10% off, or you can set a fixed amount of 10, in my case, dollars, because that's the currency of my portal. But we do, of course, support many other currencies as we go through that. And then you have the ability to do a time restriction that this coupon is only valid from April 30th to May 30th.
Fantastic, Mark. Thank you very much for the insights. I believe that we are good to continue.
Okay, great. So the last thing that I really wanted to talk about today is looking at how you can build this going forward to analyze your sales and be able to engage further beyond just the basic e-commerce functionality. So we've talked a little bit about search engine optimization. That's going to be important for building, but it's also important to know what you've got. So once I've got e-commerce enabled, any course I'm going to be able to go in, and if it has e-commerce enabled, I can go in and view the purchases for a course. This one's not been purchased yet. I believe this one has. So then we can see the purchase for it and view all of the details for it. So you'll be able to view that on a course level, but you're also able to go in to our out-of-the-box reporting, and we have reports on orders that are ready to go. So I can see completed orders, I can see abandoned carts, and I can see checkout orders, as well as all orders. So I'm going to take a quick look at completed orders here. And I'm going to watch this on screen immediately. So let's go ahead and run that. And my report is ready. My settings were wrong. All right. I will double check. I know there's a report in here. So let's go into our history. My apologies. So that should have shown me my report, but I must have reset the data. So I apologize for that. Oh, I'm sorry. It's under the e-commerce. That's why. I'm going to the e-commerce report for revenue. That's what I have set up for you to see a chart of my sales. And I've got this set to run from April 23rd to April 30th. So I'm going to run that. It's ready. And there we can see my revenue report. And I have, for the month of April, $75 in revenue, which was all yesterday as I was setting this up. So we have all of those available to see. There also are other options for you to manage your user base and be able to go through that. So in our accounts section, we do have the ability to track inactive accounts. So I can say if someone hasn't logged in 15 days, then I can create inactivity actions where I can offer them a coupon to come back and buy another course, or just send out reminder messages that can go out to them to remind them to come back and use your services. We also have the ability to do more detailed tracking by going in and adding the analytics aspects of Google Analytics. And then finally, I'm sorry, I'm in accounts. Let me get to the right spot. By going into portal and more. So you create all of that to add Google Analytics so you can track what people are doing in your portal. And then finally, if you need more advanced options for being able to communicate with your users and tying that into other things, we include other integrations like MailChimp to be able to create new custom mailing lists and demographic information to market your products. So that is a very quick overview of our e-commerce functionality. Do we have any other questions that are out there that we can answer?
We don't have any other questions as of now.
All right. Well, I certainly appreciate everyone taking the time to join us today for our first CYPHER Live. Initially, we're planning to do these sessions bi-weekly on a variety of different topics, and they're meant to show you some of the functionality of the platform and then give you the chance to ask questions about that functionality. So if you have suggestions on a topic for a future session, feel free to put that in the chat so we can make sure to add that to our upcoming roster of topics. But otherwise, we'll host our next session on May 14th, and there'll be communications coming out with the topics for that. And I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you so much. We'll have the recording sent out shortly and hosted on our website for you to share internally with your friends. As Mark said, 2 weeks from now is the next CYPHER Live. Next week, we have our CYPHER Pro Tips on CYPHER Agent for Learners. So look for an invite to that coming soon. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day or evening.